الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وبعد. 40 days ago, Hamas started this latest conflict. They don't deny it. So many people in the world, especially the West, concentrated on what Hamas did as if it is the beginning of the conflict in Palestine. It's not the beginning. We spoke about this before, and this is not the topic today. Now they kept talking in the West about what Hamas did, and they forgot what the Jews did since 1917, when Britain gave as a gift Palestine to the Jews to be their homeland, knowing that the Jews were expelled from Britain in the 19th century. They were expelled from Britain, but bye, don't come back, go to Palestine, just take it. And it started 1917 until today. So Hamas is just something that came between so many conflicts. The Jews started most of them, and they killed so many Palestinians, unbelievable. And the world today, and so many of them have shown their support for the Palestinians, are seeing for the first time maybe the kind of devastation and brutality the Jews are inflicting on the Palestinians. So many of them are for the first time seeing that, and they're sick of it. So my topic today is not about Gaza, not about Hamas, not even about the Jews, but about the West, the Christian West. Christians in general, but so many of them are with the Palestinians, by the way, we have to be fair, and especially the Christians in the West. So they're showing support for the Jews that is a blank check, literally calling for killing as many Palestinians as possible. They did that many times before Hamas started this last, I keep saying started, this latest conflict. Yeah, Hamas started it, and the Jews are going to finish the Palestinians for it. Anyway, before that, since the beginning of the year, close to 300 Palestinians were killed in the West Bank by the hand of the Israeli army and settlers. Hamas doesn't exist in the West Bank, in Palestine. I'm from the West Bank. They killed so many people, including some of them from my own family, Abualrub. Hamas doesn't exist there. They didn't say anything about it. All of a sudden, Hamas. Okay. Khammas as much as you want. But anyway, the conflict started long time ago. The thing is, why do the Christians have such fanaticism supporting the Jews? I've debated Christians. I still debate Christians. We make research before we speak, and when we talk, we bring the evidence. In the New Testament, written by the Jews, it reports what Jesus went through before he was, as the Christians claim, falsely crucified. The persecution. How many times Jesus ran away from them. He told them, "You're trying to kill me." He called them children of the devil. He called them vipers, snakes, because what he saw was so terrible. I mean, look at the Jews today, what they're doing. I feel so much compassion for Jesus about the trouble he faced with these people. I mean, unbelievable. Then they went to the Roman authorities in Palestine and kept talking to them until the Romans said, we'll investigate the matter. They claim there was, the trial of Jesus, and then he was led to crucifixion. And it talks about him being led to crucifixion, that the Romans were smacking him on the back of the head, King of the Jews, and the Jews were spitting on the most honorable, pure believer during their time, Jesus, the son of Mary, Isa, the son of Maryam. May Allah's peace, blessings, might, and benefit give to Jesus, because he benefited the Muslims by staying on Tawheed as he was sent with Tawheed. He's with Allah. He wasn't crucified. Sorry. So the Christians throughout history have persecuted and killed the Jews, and so many times. Did you know that the first crusade from Europe to the Holy Land went with the popular popular statement in Arabic? It's not from the Quran. Many people think it is. Al-aqrabuna awla bil-ma'ruf. The ones who are closer to us deserve our favor the most. So before they went all the way through Turkey down to Palestine, they went in the area around them and killed the Jews. Did you know that? The first crusade. It was against Muslims, but they said, hey, these are close. Al-aqrabuna awla bil-ma'ruf. They went and killed them. And they did so much killing that the king of Hungary actually fought them and expelled them from his land. Anyway, so they killed the Jews, claiming they killed their God. They killed their God. I mean, they killed their God according to their creed, to their faith. It's in their book. And practically they punished the Jews throughout the centuries for this very same crime that didn't happen. The Jews wanted to crucify Jesus. Allah saved him and honored him from this kind of death, especially since Jesus wasn't God. He was a prophet from Allah. So, two big problems for the Christians of today. Number one, with this background, how dare you talk about anybody being worse than you, maybe, or doing the same things you did against the Christians, because the Palestinians did not kill a fraction of a fraction of a fraction. And I keep saying the word fraction tens of times of what the Christians in Europe did under Hitler and the final solution. You can't compare. You can't compare. I mean, from the beginning of the conflict, 1917, until now, you can't compare the numbers. There's no way. It's just, the numbers. I mean, of course, the Jews keep saying 6 million with 6,000,000,000. Dare not say 5,999,999. Now, I would like to know about that person who became, the Jew who became number 6 million. Do they have a record of that person, man or woman? Who knows? Anyway, how dare the Christians come and talk today about the massacre of Hamas, what about the massacres the Palestinians suffered under the Jews? With your support, with your weapons, your money, your men, your women. What about all these massacres that just disappeared? How dare you talk about massacres when you slaughtered the Jews, the very same Jews you're now supporting like crazy, like mad. You killed them throughout history. 1945 was the end of the Christian Holocaust against the Jews in Europe. It wasn't in Palestine. It has nothing to do with it. They did not live in Palestine from the year 70, when the Romans kicked them out of Palestine, until the 1850s and more than that. For 18 centuries, They never lived there. Had no ties. It's you who killed them. And now we come and ask, oh, the Jews have been killed. You killed the Jews like never before. I doubt, maybe Allah knows the future, of course. I don't know if anybody in the future will come and do the same crime. It's a holy WHO, not a holy HOLY, a holy Christian trait. It's your crime. You did it. And then when you couldn't finish them off, you sent them to the Palestinians who did not do you or the Jews any wrong. They were living in peace for centuries in their own homeland. And there he comes, hordes and hordes and herds of people telling them, look, Abraham gave us this land. Look at the signature here, Abraham. So what you have is ours. And they massacred the Palestinians so many times. Deir Yassin, Sabra and Shatila, so many of them, they just, but nobody says anything. Now, for the Christians to come and act like they are the supporters, the protectors of the Jews, after you killed them all these centuries, 2,000 years, come on. Come on. It's unbelievable. So this is number one. Number two, I can't understand number one. Also, I can't understand number two. I have to say it now because it's the topic. The biggest problem Christianity has is that Jesus, Allah's peace and blessings on him, never promoted anything that Christians promote as being the Christian religion. Jesus never promoted the idea of original sin, his crucifixion to atone for the sins of the Christians, or anything similar to that. He did not say he is God or the Son of God, literally, that he is the Son of God. He did not say anything about Trinity, that it is the religion to follow. A Christian today has an entirely different religion than that promoted by Jesus. Entirely different. If Jesus comes today, and he's going to come to finish his life term on this earth before the end of time, he will be supporting Muslims. He's not going to be supporting the Jews. Receive the good news. Anyway, if Jesus comes back today and here's what those Christians are saying about him, he will say, I seek refuge with Allah. I've never taught them this. I never told you this. I never told you this. He will be horrified. And if you stand Jesus next to the most educated Christian person on earth, usually it's not the Pope. The Pope is just a political job. But bring the most learned Christian person on earth today and Jesus, let them talk, you'll find that the two totally different religions. So the biggest problem Christianity has is that Jesus never promoted any part of the Christian religion. But they call themselves Christians, and because the Jews, according to their book that was written by the Jews, it's fake, it's not from Allah. The Jews crucified Jesus, whom they believe is God. Jesus didn't say that. So they are persecuting the Jews for that until today. Until today, literally. Because they couldn't finish the Jews off after centuries of killing, expelling. They couldn't finish them off. So they said, let's send them in to be in the middle of a sea of Muslims who read in their book that Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa in Jerusalem is theirs. So it doesn't matter, Muslims now are weak and divided, but this, the life on this earth comes in cycles. So those who are up will come down, and those who are down will come up, and then the other way. وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. Allah said in the Quran, a very concise statement that really, really describes the, life on this earth. these are the days, meaning the ability to be above others. نداولها بين الناس, we keep exchanging them between the people. So some people are up, they go down. Some people are down, they go up. It's a cycle. And the Muslims will one day wake up. Now, the Muslim lion is asleep. The rat is playing around. I ask Allah for His support and help, especially for our Muslim brothers and sisters who are suffering throughout the world, not only in Palestine, in Burma and other areas. I ask Allah for His support, and I say, La ilaha illallah. There is no deity worthy of worship except Allah, and that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, and that Jesus, Isa, is the messenger of Allah, a human messenger, not divine.